All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baharakak. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in His truth. And Shalom to the few sisters, the Akwatim, that listen and learn in silence. To all of you, I say Shalom. I'm the brother Pathaka Matrium as Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. I'm going to entitle this, There is No Peace to the Wicked. And I'm going to play this just a little quick excerpt, from this from the video right here that you see on the screen. The brother hopeful elect 3, and the female that's featured in this video is going to say something, and it's just the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? She spoke truth, and and that's what I based this lesson around. And it says the world has an Edomite problem, which is exactly the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, this is going to be a real quick excerpt. She's going to say something, then which is going to reflect the title, and then I'm going to get into the lesson. So real quick, without any further ado.
Until white supremacy is dismantled across the globe, there will never be peace.
Just repeat that one more time. That's the point.
Until white supremacy is dismantled across the globe, there will never be peace.
And that's the point, man. So, and that's why, like I said, I heard that, and it just, scriptures started coming to mind, and a whole lesson started coming together from that, white supremacy, which the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, is what that's going into, that whole white supremacy thing, you know what I'm saying? Them being the supreme nation on the planet, man. But and they're trying to, which that couldn't be more further from the truth, They're actually the basest, the lowest on the planet, the smallest, you know what I'm saying? But that whole facade has been placed into the planet Earth, and everybody has believed it, for a period of time, man, until these latter days, man, which now they're becoming very small, very insignificant. You know what I'm saying? But, she said a key point, it ain't going to be no peace, and under this regime, under the rule of these Edomites, that's the truth, man. That's the whole truth and nothing but the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I entitled this lesson, There is No Peace to the Wicked, man, because they are the wicked nation upon the planet. And, pursuant to Job, the 9th chapter and verse 24, the earth has been given into their hand, you know what I'm saying, or their power, they're the ruling class people right now. And which that goes back to because they're the wicked, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's just read that. This is Job 9. Slakia. This is Job 9 and verse 24, and it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth has been given by who? The Creator, Yahweh Shai, man, the Lord, man. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The hand represents the power, their power, and it's been given into the hand of the wicked, man. And who are the wicked? The wicked are the Edomites, pursuant to Malachi, which I'm gonna get it. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but they're the wicked nation on the planet, the wicked people on the planet. It says the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? And that's key, because you got a lot of dummies, still trying to say this is talking about Japheth and everybody but the right person, man. You know what I'm saying? It says the earth is in their hand. They covered the faces of the judges. Who are the judges? The judges ultimately represent, Most High Yahweh, our big brother Yahweh Shai, his only begotten son. and the people, man, the Israelites, man, who are the chosen people of the Lord, pursuing Isaiah 44:1. You know what I'm saying? So they covered their faces. Where you have some fakes in the land right now claiming to be the people of the Lord, which are not the people. Those gutter rats, those small hatters, the baby hats, 48ers, whatever you want to call them, man. You know what I'm saying? They got many names. Baby caps, little hats, just, they got a lot of names, man. You know what I'm saying? But they're not the people, but you have them over there claiming to be the people. And you see the look of those people. The Bible describes in detail what the Israelites look like, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord and Savior himself, who is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, describes his look, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and they don't line up with any of the prophecies of what would be or what would happen, the state that these people would be in and the whole nine, man. You know what I'm saying? So they don't line up. So they covered the faces of the judges. You type in, you Google anything, any one in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Joseph, Mary, Mark, Matthew, Obadiah, Jeremiah, Isaiah, whoever. You type that in, Yahushai, which the world refers to as JC, Jebus. You type that in, and or whom the world calls God, they call him Jehovah, true biblical name Yahweh. The son's name is Yahushai. You'll get images of so-called white people, which the scriptures go into that and break all these things down. The first, I believe it's the first Maccabees, the 3rd chapter. They went into the book of the law and sought to paint the likenesses of their images. That's what happened, man. During the Renaissance. And but so the earth is in their hands, and they're the ones controlling everything. The wicked, man, the red people, on the planet. The so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. And there will be no peace to these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace is not coming. So real quick, let's just go, because when you understand that whole thing, you have something known as crimson. You know what I'm saying? Crimson is the color red. As a matter of fact, I pulled up. Where is it at? I typed in crimson definition, which, as a matter of fact, before I do that, I'm Salakia. Let's get this in real quick. Let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, because it tells you, when you read in this chapter, it goes into the birth of the twins, Jacob and Esau. And we're going to jump down to the point in verse 25. This is Genesis 25:25, and it reads, "And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau." There it is, the Esau, the Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying? When you continue to read down, you'll come to find out that Esau's name got changed to Edom. You know what I'm saying? Which means red. When you go into that, Edom, Esau means wasted away is he. And no pigment. The pigment got taken back during the time of Cain in the garden, man. Which in the incarnation or reincarnation, he came back as Esau, man. And that pigment had got taken. Is what Esau means. Wasted away is he. Which his name got changed to Edom, which is red, man. You know what I'm saying? So the first, Genesis 25:25, and the first, talking about the firstborn of the twins, the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And that don't mean he was hairy. It's just a certain garment that we dyed a particular color red, and he matched that color red. That's what that's going into. So when you understand that the first came out red, that's where you get the word crimson from. So let's go here. I typed in crimson, and the definition for crimson, and it says it's as a matter of fact,
crimson.
So crimson, and it's an adjective. It says of a rich, deep red color. inclining to purple, it says, and it gives a little sentence underneath. It says, she blushed crimson with embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? She blushed crimson with embarrassment. And then you see some, let's move this up. You see some colors down here, you know, which really, they match more, you know, different shades, you know, but this one, you know, and more this one. You know what I'm saying? Now you can have some, you know, but it's just some different shades of red, you know, Esau, you know what I'm saying? So you take it with a grain of, but, you know, but that's what it's talking about. The so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child are not the color of this page. They're more the color of this color right here. You know what I'm saying? When you look at them, Trump is a good example of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep going. It says noun. It says a rich, deep red color inclining to purple. Same thing we read up there, but it says a verb of a person's face. Boom, becoming flushed. Who gets flushed, especially through embarrassment? Who does that? What nation of people does that happen to? Damn sure don't happen to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We don't. No, that's a characteristic or trait of so-called white people, man. You know what I'm saying? It says my face crimsoned and my hands began to shake. So there it is, man. As a matter of fact, let's see if there's any. Let's see what we got down here. I don't see any, I don't got not like the similars, or guess not. So, but anyway, you get the point, man. So this is, you know, crimson is red, you know, and there's a people on the planet that cause we just read it in Genesis, the 25th chapter. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. So, and then it reminds me of cause there's a family. I typed in to Google, I said, the Bourgeois first crime family. And this is what came up. It says, AI overview. It says the Bourgeois, led by Rodrigo Borgia, Pope Alexander VI, and his ambitious children, Cesare, Juan, and Lucretia, are known as history's original crime family. Do you hear that? They're the first or original crime family. And that's CRIME, crimson, crime. That's where you get the word crime from, crimson. So these red people are the criminals of the earth, man. That's where this comes from, man. You know what I'm saying? So the wicked is representative of these Edomites, man. You know? So real quick, let's get Malachi. Let's get Malachi real quick. This is Malachi chapter 1. And I'll start at the top and read down to about verse 4. This is Malachi 1:1. It says, and you see in the heading, God's love for Jacob, man, the Most High's love for Jacob. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Jacob's brother? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And here's the point, verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down. And we're in the time of that now. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And that word indignation means righteous anger. So he has a righteous anger toward these people forever. When you read in Romans, the 9th chapter, they are the vessels of dishonor fitted to wrath and destruction. The Lord created these people to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? So, so the Edomites, man, you know what I'm saying? Which when you read, let's get this real quick. Salakia, man, look at Satan, bro. God to be, man. When you read in Genesis, the 36th chapter, in verse 8, it reads, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So Esau, Edom, and Mount Seir are synonymous, man. You know what I'm saying? So when the scriptures speak of these things, it's talking about the same people. The Edomites, so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called it the name Esau. So that's what it's talking about, man. You know, so these clowns out here talking about Esau ain't the so-called white man don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know how to go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and put the puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these things are synonymous. And as the title reflected, you heard the video, the girl said, you know, until white supremacy is basically taken out of the earth, there will be no peace. And she couldn't be more correct, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said the same thing. When you read in Isaiah, the 57th chapter, and we're going to jump down to verse 21, which is the last verse, it reads, Isaiah 57:21, it reads, there is no peace, saith my power, to the wicked, which we now know who the wicked are, man. The wicked is the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, who are the Edomites, the biblical Edomites who go back to their forefather Esau. And there will be no peace to them, man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're going to try to say these things, you know, Trump and all these, they're always promising peace and everything is going to be okay. And we're going to, you know, make America great again. All these promises and of peace. And no, man, you're reading it right here. There is no peace, saith my power, to the wicked. So they're not going to receive any peace. As a matter of fact, when you read in I believe it's 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, in verse 3, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, it reads, for when they shall say peace and safety, when who shall say? Shit, the wicked, these Edomites, man, so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. For when they shall say peace and safety, because the Lord already told you, we just read in Isaiah 57:21, there is no peace to the wicked. For when they, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, and travail upon a ass, like an ass travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That's what's coming. Peace is not coming. There is no peace promised to the wicked, man. There is no peace for them. As a matter of fact, when you, it reminds me of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And in the heading, it says a time for everything. And when you jump down to verse 8, what does it say? A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And we're in the times of hate and war, not love and peace, you know? So hate and war is what's you know, like scriptures say, the love of many shall wax cold right now, man. You know, these people finna, when that's psycho, when you go into that word. So these people, it's finna get crazy as hell. Ain't no love here. There's hate here. Ain't no peace here. It's wartime, man, because this kingdom has to go. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So love, hate, and war is the end of the world. Love and peace is the beginning of it that followeth. That's coming in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're at, man. You know what I'm saying? So there is no peace to the wicked. And the female hit it right on point. As a matter of fact, the Lord gave them a great sword to take peace from the earth. When you read in Revelation, the 6th chapter, and we'll start at verse 3. It says the second seal, war. You see that? War, man. You know, because the Most High, Exodus 15:3, is a man of war. He's about war. The second seal, war. Revelation 6, and we'll start at verse 3. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. Here's the point, verse 4. And there went out another horse, which represents power, that was red. And that red goes back to those same people. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, which goes back to crime, which is where you get crimson, which is where you get crime. You know what I'm saying? Those red people on the planet. You know, so this represents them. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So there is not going to be peace. There's no peace to the wicked. They were given power to take peace from the earth. And where did that come from? How did that, from the Yahweh Shem Shai? But I'm saying that power to take peace from the earth. Where it's going to go into it. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Boom. Does that sound familiar? Well, let's go here real quick. This is Genesis 27, and we're going to jump down to the point in verse 40, I believe. I'll start at verse 39. Genesis 27 and 39, going into those two blessings that was given to Jacob and Esau. Esau was given one because his forefather he cried. Edom was given one because his forefather Esau cried. Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Here's the point. And verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And that's the point. He was given a great sword to take peace from the earth. So they were set up to take peace from the earth, not bring peace to the earth. It's all a longing for peace, and it's not happening, man. These devils was created for a purpose, man. What's that? 16. This is Proverbs 16 and verse 4. And it reads, The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked, these Edomites, so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, the red people, for the day of evil. That's his purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? And after that purpose is fulfilled, he's going to be destroyed, man, and obliterated out of earth. Vessels of dishonor created, fitted to wrath and destruction. So their blessing was the sword, and it was to take peace from the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no peace coming to these devils. But it's for a period of time, It's not forever. So this devil has an end. So real quick, let's go to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. And we're going to jump down to verse 7, which is the point. This 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 7, it says, For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this devil to do all of these things, take the peace from the earth and all. It's all prophecy that had to be fulfilled and play out in the earth. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord has to let this devil, because he's a man of his word. He's a man, he can't lie. And his words, Isaiah 55 and 11, will not return unto him void, but accomplish the thing whereto he sent it. So these things have to happen, man. They must needs be, you know what I'm saying? And that's the point. He who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this devil to do these things, man, because he has a point in time that he's going to be taken out the way, man. He's going to be taken out. And these devils know that, and that's why you have Revelations, the 12th chapter, because this devil knows that his time is short, so he's about to come down having that great wrath. Revelations 12 and 12, Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So there it is. He's about to, them draconian laws and this nigga is finna come. He's finna bring it, bro, because he knows that Yahushua is about to come and take him down, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in those times, man. Let's get one more. Yeah, we're in a time of this devil's end, man. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, and he knows that. He knows his time is short. Let me see if this is going to let me in. Yep. Salakia. So normally it don't. It's Sirach chapter 10. And I'm going to jump a few verses. I'm going to start at verse 4, jump down, and then jump down again. This is verse Ecclesiasticus Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And that profitable one is Yahweh Shai, man. And Yahweh Shai is on his way back. He's going to return and come establish his kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, which will be on the earth. And it's going to be governed by the 144,000, the elect, written of and spoken of in Revelation, the 7th chapter. 12,000 men from each 12 tribes, 144,000, which represents the governing body. So, that's what's coming, man, and the throne of David will be established in the earth, man, So we're going to jump down to verse 8, Ecclesiasticus Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, everything Esau has done and still doing to this very day. Look what he did, look what he's doing over there with Venezuela, man. just to steal their resources, their oil, man. This devil he's still at it. Same old devil, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, yeah, man, the kingdom has to be taken from these devils and given to the righteous people, the rightful people, who's like the scripture saying in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the earth was created for for our sakes, the sake of the Israelites, man. It belongs to us. So the Lord is going to undo the remote out of this hand, man, out of these devils' hand, and he's going to put it in the hand of the rightful people, beginning to start with our big brother Yahweh Shai, who is the lion of the tribe of Judah, man. But here's the point. We'll end it right here, because these devils got to go, man. There ain't no peace to them. Sirach 10, peace will come in the kingdom. Ecclesiasticus Sirach 10:10, it says, the physician cutteth off a long disease. Who is the physician? The physician represents Yahweh Shai, and that long disease, that cancer in the earth, represents these so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man, who are the biblical, the red Hebrew Edomites who go back to their forefather Esau, man. It says, so he's coming to cut that disease off. And he that is today a king, which they are, they're the king. You see, look at Trump right now, he's represented as a king, Isaiah 14, you know what I'm saying? So that's this dude, man, Nero, he's back, man. So it says, he that is a king, he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's their fate. Death is coming to them, man. Destruction. They're through. Ain't no peace to these devils. Peace is coming when Yahweh Shai sets up and establishes his kingdom in earth. That's when peace is coming, man. And hey, that's it. So hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shal Dawada, Shalom.